Yo YouTube, welcome back to another video. April 20th, 9:50 right now. Yeah, obviously yesterday's video, you guys know what we was talking about, and I just want to get straight into it. I can't lie, because like I don't even want to yap too much as I do in the beginnings. You know what I'm saying, just some random stuff. But in this video, as you can tell by the title, probably I think I'm gonna just title it "What You Tolerate is What You Accept," and I'm gonna try and like give you guys real life examples of what I'm saying, and then like the best way I can. But there's a silent agreement that we make with life, and most of the time people don't even realize they're making it. Like every time you stay somewhere you know you've outgrown, every time you bite your tongue, shrink your dreams, or even pretend to be okay just to like keep the peace, every time you let something small slide, a comment, a feeling, or even a standard that you know deep down is not meant for you, you're making a deal, and it's not with other people but it's with yourself. You're telling your mind, your body, your soul in a way that this is enough, innit? And even when like every fiber of your being is telling you like, yo, this is no, even when like your heart like aches at the thought of staying still, even when your dreams start to feel like distant memories instead of like living parts of you, if that makes sense. And the scary part is that you don't really feel it all at once. Like it sneaks in, and the gap between who you are and who you could be starts so small that you barely even notice it, but it does grow, and it does grow and grow and grow until like one day you wake up and realize you don't really even recognize the person in the mirror anymore. There's a quote from Naval Ravikant, I think, says, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." And if you think about it, every time you accept a situation that doesn't align with your future, every time you settle for comfort instead of chasing growth, every time you prioritize keeping others happy instead of honoring yourself, you're playing a stupid game. And what's the prize? A life you don't even want, validation from people you don't respect, security that in a way it suffocates you, comfort that like rots your soul and your brain. And the worst part is that even when you like win, like you survive, even like when you get like a pat on the back or something, you lose the only thing that ever really mattered, and that is the fact that you lose yourself. I remember one of my first like real jobs about like 3-4 years ago. It wasn't like some like nightmare situation. Nobody was like screaming at me, nobody was like blatantly like disrespecting me, but that almost made it worse in a way, because everything on the surface looked fine. It was the kind of place where everybody smiled just to hide how little that they cared, where like ambition felt out of place, like it was something to be embarrassed about, where I could feel my dreams shrinking every time like I was at this place, like where like conversations I had with people were just empty, the energy was heavy, and being different, wanting more from your life wasn't like celebrated, it was tolerated at best. And at that age I knew deep down that I didn't belong like in that place, I didn't belong there, but I still stayed because it wasn't like that bad, right? I was telling myself the same lies that most people do, and it's stable, it's just temporary, and I can like just stick out, I can figure out. But then one day I must have found myself sitting in this meeting surrounded by people who didn't even know me, care about me, and definitely didn't care about where I was trying to go in life. It wasn't about growth, it wasn't about helping me improve in the job. It was just a warning, a polite threat. They basically sat me down and said, if you don't change, you're gone. And I was like, change what? My energy, my ambition, my refusal to become numb? And I remember sitting in that chair, looking around the managers, the faces, and thinking to myself like, why the fuck am I even here? Why am I fighting to belong somewhere I don't even want to be? It wasn't anger that really hit me, it wasn't really sadness as well. It was just the fact that it was clarity, and I could see it so clearly for the first time. this place was never meant for me. These people were never meant for me, and this life was never meant for me as well. A few months later, I left, and no, it wasn't like one of those Instagram fucking fantasy stories where I quit and became multi-millionaire like 6 weeks later. I just left. It was just messy, it was uncertain, and it was lonely sometimes after I quit. But at the end, it was real life. But what it gave me was worth me than anything that job could have like paid me, in a sense. It gave me myself back and my own, like, you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing that nobody tells you: you don't really lose yourself all at once. It's slow, it's gradual, and it's like death by like 1,000 little compromises that you make. And staying like one more month at a job that you hate, it's like laughing at a joke that you know goes against your own values. It's like saying it's fine when your gut and your heart and even your mind knows that it's not. It's convincing yourself that surviving is the same as living, in a sense. And over time, you start to forget. You forget what it feels like to be excited about your own life. You forget what feels like to be proud of yourself. You even forget that there was ever even a version of you that wanted more in life. But by the time you notice, you're in a way carrying so much regret that it feels easier to keep settling than to start over. And that's the real tragedy. It's not the lost time, it's not the wrong choices, it's the belief that it's too late to change. And that's the prison that most people never escape. They believe that it's too little to change. That's the prison. And if any part of this is hitting you right now, and someone that's watching this video, if anyone feels that knot in your chest, that like, I want you to stop and ask yourself and be brutally honest with yourself right now. What are you putting yourself up with right now that's killing you slowly? Where have you convinced yourself that it's not that bad, just so that I can avoid, just like you can avoid the pain of change? What dreams that have you buried so deep that you are so scared to even dig back up again? And here's the most important part: why? Is it fear? Is it comfort? Or is it the shame of having wasted time? Is it the fear of looking stupid? Or is it because somewhere along the way you start believing you deserved anything better? And I'm gonna be the one to tell you this right now. If nobody else is gonna tell you this here, nobody else will. It's the fact that you do. It's the fact that you do deserve better. Everyone deserves a life that feels like yours. Everyone deserves a relationship that feels like just makes you happy. Work that makes you feel alive and proud, and a version of yourself that you can look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of. But it's not going to be handed to you. You have to, in a way, demand it. But it's from yourself, it's from your environment, from the standards you live by when nobody is watching. Because if you don't change anything, if you keep tolerating what you know is wrong for you, you will wake up one day with a life you don't even recognize. A life that looks fine on the outside but feels hollow on the inside. A life full of should haves, could haves, and just almost, you know what I'm saying? And it's a life you have to explain every time. You have to explain what's wrong. But if you do face it, if you do confront the pain now instead of later, you do give yourself the greatest gift that is a second chance. In a way, rebirth. It's a life built on your terms, your soul and your standards. And the best part is the fact that it's never really too late. Not when you're 20, not when you're 30, not when you're 50, and certainly not when you're 75. As long as there's still breath in your body, there's still time to raise your standards, no matter what. Time to rebuild your life. Time to reclaim the part of you that you thought were lost forever. Because every day that you say no more, in a way, like no more settling, no more like shrinking, and just no more tolerating what breaks you, you're not just changing your life. In a way, you're just saving it. So if you are sitting there wondering when your life will feel different, maybe the real question is, when will you finally demand it to be? And I'm end it there, and I'm gonna just end it on that note. When will you finally demand it to be? And yeah, as I said, those just I'm gonna just end it there. I don't want to say nothing more than that. I'm gonna just end it there. But yeah, as I title, what you tolerate is what you accept, bro. And like that story I said of when I was working my old job, my first like real job in a sense, like that's like that. I'll try to explain it again, but I'll say it again, but that scene where I was in that meeting room with like these managers and all these people that like my supervisors, whatever, they were just like, I'll probably go into like more depth about like later on in the channel, but it just felt so wrong, bro. It felt so wrong to be in that room and having all these people try and tell me, just do this for the company, this is for the company, this is for the company, this is for the company. And I was just like, I just wasn't having it, bro. I didn't like that energy at all. That's why I just like a couple months later, like I just decided to leave, you know what I'm saying? And obviously after that I've got other jobs since then, but that situation just like really opened my eyes to like, yo, like what I tolerate is what I accept, and I just didn't fuck with at all. But yeah, I'm not ending it there. I think in a couple more videos time I'll start to talk more about like freelance brand scaling stuff more, just because obviously I haven't talked about it in quite some time, and obviously I am still doing it with comedy right now, and I wouldn't say not really a new outreach method that I've discovered, but it's just the fact that's something that I've been trying and I've just seen a little success in it, and I'm just gonna keep testing and see if it works, and then if I really do get the results that, you know what I'm saying, from like what I've been testing, then obviously I'll share it with this channel as well and all you guys. But yeah, that's still in the process right now. Obviously I am still like even though I make these videos, like don't get confused that I'm just like trying to speak to people. I am still in a way that trying to make this like business thing work. But yeah, I'm gonna end on there and leave on that note. But yeah, appreciate you for watching. Steps to me to move this shit, and I'm seeing my next video. Peace.